This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
Show them that you're a fighter. Show them what you can do. These mascots meet their grisly fates. Bring out the fighter in you. And you.
Oh, yes. That was great.
Thank you.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Welcome to Baconsale. I'm Joel.
I'm Kent.
And I'm Zach.
We'd like to thank you for listening to our last episode, our tournament of mascots, brand mascots, part one. Part one.
A couple of times this was very well summed up, with KP Brown saying, add a dash of situational and ever-changing logic to the normal recipe of trivial discussions, and you have a Baconsale bracket challenge. Always super odd and fun. And that is just accurate, is it
that
not?
just the SEO for our website?
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, right?
CMove51 on Instagram says, these episodes are a train wreck. They're chaos and make no sense, but impossible to look away. Well done and very entertaining. Also, a little side note, in honor of Mr. Monopoly getting a win, I'm once again championing for a modern day board games episode.
I get it.
We don't have the time. Modern board games are too long. I'm just so sorry. And Star Wars expert Kyler says, what a terrible time to be on a diet. I'm 20 minutes into this week's episode of Baconsale, and I want McDonald's and Sour Patch Kids and several bowls of cereal.
I think that's on him. That's not on us. We did not make any of those sound appetizing.
Yeah,
It just
no.
happens on Baconsale. The one time we talked about Subway, that was the only time food was not desired after Baconsale.
You're welcome.
Every
Subway.
other time.
Still funny. But that's exactly what we're talking about today.
That's entirely true.
And what are we talking about today, Zach?
That thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That thing, but more.
Yes, today we are finalizing and finishing.
Last week's thing, but more of it.
Yes. Because the bracket of 64 takes a very long time for us to get through. So today we'll be finishing that up, and you can find the bracket at baconsale.com. And if you go to this specific episode, you'll find an advanced bracket so you can pick up right where we're starting.
Do we feel like we're going to go faster on this one? I mean, we've talked about what brand they're from. We talked about what they look like, for example. Mm-hmm. I mean, and maybe some of the matches will be easier, maybe a little bit harder.
I guess we're going to find out.
I will say the funny thing that happened to me this week is I tried to explain this game that we're playing
To whom?
To my young children.
Oh.
And, you know,
And they knew who all these
you know
characters
what was
were.
tougher to explain than we're pretending that they're fighting to the death was, so a commercial is
Yes.
a thing, and a commercial mascot, it's a thing that you skip
Yep.
on your YouTube or whatever. You know, they don't actually know who any of these are because they've been skipping commercials.
My
their whole
8-year-old daughter, as I was getting ready to leave tonight, says, "What's the episode on tonight?" And I said, "Brand mascot battles." She went, "I don't know what any of that means." I was
I
like,
don't know about you guys, though, but my YouTube ads, or at least for my kids, are Fruit Loop based.
"Are they?"
Yeah, YouTube is listening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the fact that you looked up every single commercial.
I mean,
multiple
that's true.
times.
That's actually the thing.
But yes, we are going to be doing finishing our bracket by having each of these mascots battle up against each other. We're going to be voting for who we think wins using whatever argument suits our argument at that
At the
time.
time.
And then whoever moves on to the next round. Pretty simple.
To a main winner.
To a main winner to see who is
The master mascot?
the toughest.
Yeah.
I don't want to say master mascot. That sounds weird.
Yeah, sure.
But toughest mascot, biggest mascot, best mascot, we're going to find out. But this is fighting ability. We're not going with likability.
Except for if it's convenient.
Because you guys killed Poppin' Fresh.
Yes, we did.
Who's more likable between the Pillsbury Doughboy and the Snuggle Bear?
That is a sentence that's never been said before.
I'm sure it has.
No.
Probably.
All right, so should we get started again?
Do this.
First, we have the Kool-Aid Man
From Kool-Aid.
versus Sunny the Cuckoo Bird.
From Cocoa Puffs.
I mean,
Now, and yes, and we should clarify once again, they're fighting in a Hunger Games style arena.
Yeah.
Where I'll say this.
Go ahead.
The environment could change, but
When I decide? Thank you, Joel.
No. It could change, but it's not constantly changing. Like in the Hunger Games, they're not constantly like, oh, you're in a forest. Now you're in the desert.
Okay.
It's like they set it, they put them in there. So if we set the environment, if we set the boundaries at the beginning, I'm fine with that.
So this isn't the Thunderdome or anything, but it's a place where
Tina
maybe
Turner is nowhere near this place.
it's not a super biased place for either fighter.
We hope not.
Okay.
We hope to keep it as game masters. We want to keep it as fair as possible.
Yeah.
But here we have the Kool-Aid Man, who's a giant pitcher of Kool-Aid, cherry Kool-Aid usually.
Over 7 feet tall.
Yeah. By the way, his arms and legs were added in 1974. Before that, he was just a pitcher. And then it's back in the early
The
days.
evolution of the Kool-Aid Man is pretty scary.
Wait, how tall did you say?
He's 7 feet tall.
I have a 6 foot here.
Yeah, no, he's grown since then, Joel.
Meanwhile, we have Sunny the Cuckoo Bird.
That's all you got to say.
here's the important thing. How does a Kool-Aid Man die? Because we decided last time that the actual him is the container.
Yes, the glass.
And his mood or whatever is his
mood and abilities often.
and abilities.
Are
He's
the
Kirby.
juice or
But
whatever
also,
is in
guess
him.
what? He can become the juice at times. I watched way too many Kool-Aid commercials
Like the
on
juice
this one.
is loose.
Yeah, kind of.
Uh-oh.
Now, here's the thing.
Then Sonny's going down
In this case, he doesn't die. He grabs the bird and he drowns it
in his own self.
in his own body.
What is it? Monstro?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it really, but that's really all it will take, because the bird's not going to go that crazy. You know, even if the bird tries to peck at the glass, it's actually not glass. He's made out of crystal.
Okay, so the crystal needs to shatter
Yeah.
in order for the Kool-Aid man to die.
I would assume so.
That's
But
the
guess what?
sentence
But guess
Sandra
what?
said.
That also won't kill him. But there are other arguments I'll make for another round, because
What?
I do believe the Kool-Aid man should go on.
Can you smelt the Kool-Aid man?
You know what? You probably can.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I smelt him the other day. I saw that going a little different. I tried just was coming up with scenarios.
Yeah, sure.
And in my mind, the battle starts, and Sonny's like, "I got this. I'm going to kill the Kool-Aid man."
Mm-hmm.
And then Kool-Aid man comes
Pretty
in,
good.
and instead of Kool-Aid inside of him, he's got milk left over from a bowl of Cocoa Puffs.
Oh.
So all Sonny can do is smell the Cocoa Puffs in the air, and he goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Kind of the similar thing.
Okay.
He goes in to get the Cocoa Puffs, and Kool-Aid man just puts his hands up, pushes Sonny down, and holds him in his self, and drowns him.
Yeah. Just in his skull there.
You lost me at. I think that the Kool-Aid man must keep Kool-Aid in his container. I don't think any foreign liquids are allowed.
I don't know. In the
But
mind, it's not mine.
substantive of Cocoa Puffs, that's fine.
But the fact that both of us kind of see him drowning, Sonny drowning, I think
Yeah.
that says. By the way, Sonny, is his name, because originally they had Sonny and his grandfather Gramps, so it was Gramps and Sonny. But then no one liked Gramps, and he probably passed away. And Sonny became Sonny the Cuckoo Bird.
Indeed.
The late Sonny the Cuckoo Bird.
Indeed.
Jumps in logic aside, Kool-Aid man wins. Now we have Count Chocula
From Count Chocula cereal.
and the Old Spice guy.
This is a good one.
Old Spice. He's on a horse.
So it's a vampire versus like a master of illusion?
One of them can fight all the time in any type of daylight. The other can't.
Wait, have you seen Old Spice guy fight? You just think he'd be good in a fight?
Yes.
I think it's like he's not super strong unless he's Terry Crews. But I think he's very crafty. Obviously,
You're not strong with those abs. Come on.
Painted on. CGI.
Stop.
Actually, fun fact, most of the stuff they did in the commercial was practical. Like,
Yeah,
they
it's
literally lifted him up on a crane and put him on a horse.
Behind the scenes filming of those commercials is amazing.
Fascinating. I love those.
All right, but Zach, we have a human being and a vampire who's 7'6".
But he's also a benign vampire. He's not very threatening.
not malignant.
Vampires get beat by humans all the time. Watch a movie, dude.
If they're not falling in love, the new Twilight, Count Chocula and the Old Spice guy.
I would fall in love with the Old Spice guy.
Actually, is a pretty good match.
I'm just going to say, do you guys know what the logo for Old Spice is?
It's a sailboat.
It is a sailboat with what on the front?
I don't know.
A giant wooden mast or post or whatever you call that. The pokey thing.
Are you insinuating that the Old Spice guy can pilot a sailboat into a...
He's not Jaws the Revenge.
No, I'm saying that Isaiah Mustafa, Old Spice guy, is going to break off the front of that mast, use it as a wooden stake, and impale Count
You're
Chocula.
overthinking it because, listen, Dracula did survive the voyage of the Demeter. In fact, he's the only survivor on that fated crew.
Wow.
But
Good reference.
yeah, I think it will be a pretty good fight. It will be at night because Count Chocula wants to get the jump on him. However, I do believe Old Spice guy can turn the day into night.
Look at me. Now look at the sun. Now back to you. Now
And
back
so,
to the pile of ashes you are.
I think it will be a very good fight, but I do think Old Spice guy will win based on that.
I think Old Spice guy wins.
Sorry, Count. You're down for the count.
I mean,
Wait.
still funny.
Also, I gotta say, Count Chocula, my least favorite of the holiday.
You're right.
Every time we buy the variety. Every October,
Yeah.
the kids know that's coming. Like I usually hide it around the house, and then on October 1st, it's there.
Frankenberry, anyone?
Frankenberry and Boo Berry.
I'm a Boo Berry boy.
Oh, you're a blueberry boy. And first time that's ever been said.
I doubt I gotta say it every October. But inevitably, the Count Chocula is the last box remaining every
It's
time.
the worst one.
Even though
when,
he's like the
Fruity
mayor of
Mummy
the
is there,
season.
and
Yeah.
all others, and that new one, the caramel apple.
Oh, that one
Yeah,
was
they're
horrible.
trying.
That was bad.
It's bad.
Boo Berry for life.
Yeah. Save it for our monster cereal tearing episode.
Coming soon.
We just did it.
Hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me.
Now we have Ronald McDonald
From McDonald's.
And Sugar Bear.
From Sugar
Get
Crisp.
enough of that golden crisp. It's got the crunch with punch.
I've always seen Ronald McDonald as a pacifist.
Fun fact.
Are you serious?
He's got a nice house.
McDonald's
Takes care of people.
And their pink slime?
No.
And all the meat they process?
Can't say that. Remember, legal action.
Okay, alleged pink slime?
I feel like he's a pacifist.
There's no way.
Have you guys seen the original
Zach,
Ronald
have
McDonald?
you met a clown? They're not pacifists. They are there to
This
scare.
one is.
But have you guys seen the original Ronald McDonald?
Terrifying.
Willard Scott?
Absolutely
With like a cup for a nose
Yeah.
and like a tray on his head. I watched the first Ronald McDonald commercial, which came out actually in 1965 during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And I watched it. I'm like, okay, that guy's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely changed since then. They've definitely softened the image a little bit.
Yeah. However, he's now a magician. Like he can now do anything. Meanwhile, you have a 5 foot tall skinny bear. He's a very skinny bear. I just don't.
He's not skinny.
Sugar Bear is skinny.
He's not skinny.
Don't fat shame Sugar Bear.
I'm not. You're skinny shaming Sugar Bear. Once again, sentences that have never been said on me ever
What is this
in the
show?
history of the world.
Yeah, but also, I don't know. I just think that we have a 6 foot tall clown with magic powers and a short bear.
I didn't want to bring this up, but you forced my hand.
Okay, go on.
The song, the jingle that I sang to you guys after we got home from our recording last week.
Whispered sweet nothings as I fell asleep. Yes.
Get enough of that golden grips. That song, do you guys recognize the tune for that?
I know.
No.
It's from Joshua Fit the Battle of Jericho. Joshua fit the Battle of Jericho.
Oh, yeah. No, I did.
Jericho.
I have once sung in a choir in the state of Utah. So,
Yes.
of course, I know it.
Elvis sang it too. But point being is that song is all about giant walls tumbling down through minimal effort. And I think that proves
You mean it would take him 7 days to walk around a McDonald's?
he's going to do 7 laps around Ronald McDonald, then blow a trumpet. I think heaven is with Sugar Bear, and he's going to knock down the Battle of Ronald McDonald. He's a puncher. He is literally, that's his whole thing, is he's like, he has a vitamin pack punch.
I didn't want to do this already, but Ronald McDonald has knocked away a falling meteor with an oversized baseball bat. He can pull weapons out of his sleeves. He can dance so fast and he appears to have numerous legs. He can extend his arm out to turn off the sun. He can levitate food or anything he wants.
So you're saying he's magic.
He's magic.
And what does he have up his sleeve? You said?
Anything he wants.
That's funny because I have an ace up my sleeve. Look at this here. A literal
I love
quote.
this so much.
A literal quote. I didn't want to pull this out.
Oh,
but
I'm
here
so
we go.
excited.
Literal quote from Wikipedia source of knowledge and truth.
Okay.
Sugar Bear would do battle with, in the commercial, Sugar Bear would do battle with Granny, an elderly witch-like figure with a magic wand who, despite liberal use of magic, could never keep Sugar Bear from helping himself to her golden crisp.
Granny. though.
Magic
Not
does,
the most successful
Magic does nothing
fast
on
food
Sugar
company.
Bear. No effect.
Bearwise.com says that loud noises, shouts, and banging pots and pans terrify a brown bear. Pots and pans.
This is not...
Should we go in the kitchen of McDonald's?
Sugar Bear is no normal bear, Ken. He's punched an alligator in the face and knocked out his teeth.
Is Ronald McDonald an animal? No, he's
Yes,
not.
he is
He's a
an
very
animal.
tall, scary clown with magic powers.
Clowns are animals too, Kent. Clowns are
What?
animals too.
Also, playing dead can confuse a brown bear. They're not actually all that violent.
Okay, Kent, do brown bears wear t-shirts?
Do brown bears often sing?
You cannot use real animal arguments with Sugar Bear.
How am I though?
Sugar Bear, magic doesn't affect him. One punch from one vitamin pack
You're
punch
saying the Dean Martin
from
bear
the vitamin deficient
is going
Ronald
to be
McDonald.
the king of mascots? I'm sorry, but
Vitamin
no.
deficient Ronald McDonald versus vitamin packed Sugar Bear. Vitamins
Listen.
for the win. Vitamin C. What's that C for? Clown. What's that clown? Dead.
Existence erasure. He can snap away things like a hammock. Transmutation. He can turn bananas into banana shakes. I mean, the guy can do anything. He can basically make Sugar Bear disappear.
And Sugar Bear would come back and invisible punch him.
No, he doesn't do that. What are
He
his
literally
what are his
punches him.
abilities? He can like talk to animals and make them just chill.
He has a vitamin packed punch. What does Ronald McDonald have? Magic.
There's no vitamins.
What is Sugar Bear resistant to? Magic. This is gonna wait too long.
Also nutrition. I'm gonna give it to Sugar Bear. Oh, this is ridiculous.
I love it. That's such a mistake.
No way. Ronald McDonald sucks.
A fighter versus a nice clown.
He's not a nice clown.
Has he ever used his magic aggressively?
Have you seen Super Size Me? Okay, all right, there we go.
I'm not touching that.
I think Sugar Bear is impervious to alcoholism. Sugar Bear wins.
Heart disease is the #1 killer in the U.S. and McDonald's has a part to play in that. Are we serious?
Exactly.
Are we serious?
I can't get enough of Super Golden Crisp. It's got the crunch with punch.
Yeah.
Our next matchup is a Mr. Mucus
From Mucinex commercials.
and the Jolly Green
Ho,
Giant.
ho, ho. B&G Foods.
All right, so I looked up what mucus does because I think mucus is strong, right? As an attack, what mucus does to plants.
Yeah.
And guess what it does? It fertilizes them. It actually helps them grow in strength.
Oh, no.
So there's no contest here.
Yeah.
Let's not waste time.
Well, and the truth is, Mucinex, Mr. Mucus, is defeated in every single commercial he's in. I don't know how. I didn't vote for him last time. I'm pretty sure it was him against Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
Yeah, easily.
Who should have won.
Now.
So I'm happy to get rid of Mr. Mucus now.
The Jolly Green Giant wins.
Ho, ho, ho.
Now we have Wendy
Oh, no.
From Wendy's.
versus Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
From Procter & Gamble.
This feels wrong. I think we should
Mr.
just.
Clean, Mr. Clean.
I feel like we should just vote Mr. Clean and move on.
Well, she is a trash talker.
Okay.
She's real savage on social media.
This is.
What does Mr. Clean do?
He cleans.
He just kind of stands there or looks at you in mirrors, and it's
No,
just
he
creepy.
cleans.
Does he clean?
Have you not seen those
He's
new
over-
ads
okay, he's
where cleaning the
overpriced.
house and the moms are looking
You
at
can
him?
find generic products that would do the job better sometimes. Can you not?
The same with Wendy's.
Magic Eraser.
Same with Wendy's. You can find generic burgers.
Wendy's
that are better
is
than
the
Wendy's.
generic product.
You can find generic burgers. More generic burgers.
I'm
Listen-
pretty sure Wendy's burgers are made of the magic eraser.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Have you guys not been to Wanda's? It's basically the same. No.
Yeah.
Here's the weird thing about this. So when I grabbed the audio clips for the episode last time, and some of the ones that were hardest to find were these two, because Wendy doesn't really speak in any commercials. It's mostly Dave Thomas.
Yeah.
She's the look of Wendy's, but she's not the voice. And Mr. Clean rarely ever speaks.
Yeah.
I think maybe once or twice he spoke.
He does
but
the creepy wink.
not very memorable.
And he shows up in your house and you're like, I guess I'm
But
okay with
Mr. Clean
this.
also has one of the best jingles in not longest running jingles. I just love his jingle. Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
He's low key jacked though, right? Like
he is.
physically
No,
more
like,
imposing than Wendy.
We're giving Wendy like a lot of time here.
Yeah, let's get rid of Wendy.
Yeah, let's get rid of her.
She's not going to win against Mr.
Mr.
Clean.
Clean wins. Please don't go into details.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute.
Now we have Toucan Sam
From Fruit Loops.
and Twinkie the Kid.
From Twinkies.
Yes.
All right. You ready? You ready for my argument? You're going to shoot down Zach
Yeah.
for some reason?
Come on. He made a compelling argument for Sugar Bear.
That was
has to be-
not.
that has
He's
to be
going to,
rewarded.
he'll disappear and they'll just come back.
resistant.
That was his argument.
Resistant to magic.
A Jericho vitamin punch thing.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Jericho.
Heaven is on Sugar Bear's side, Ken.
All right.
The Old Testament works against McDonald's, apparently.
Toucan Sam
What is
versus
this show?
Twinkies.
One mention of McDonald's in the Old Testament. Just one.
Great. Yeah, anyways. It's okay.
Don't you hate when you let the nuggets too close to the fire? Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, as I discussed last time, like I don't really care who wins or not in this one, but I did describe that the toucan's beak is made out of keratin, which is your fingernail material.
Right.
It is actually quite brittle, though we did win that match.
Yes.
So I was like, what can beat a bird? Because clearly a Twinkie is not going to beat a bird.
This isn't just a Twinkie, Kent. This is Twinkie,
the kid with a lasso.
Boots,
with a
gloves,
lasso.
kerchief, lasso, and 10-gallon hat.
Yeah. I mean, do you have an opinion on this one, Joel?
Well, I do have a thought.
Okay.
And this thought is we do have the option of bringing in Toucan Sam's three nephews, who, by the way, their names are Pewee, Susie, and Louie.
Oh, Huey?
Yeah.
Someone hated that kid.
But they have joined him in I know. It's so obvious they're ripping off Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Huey.
Pewee, Susie, and Louie. But they've joined him in opposition to many practical Fruit Loop loving enemies through a series of integrated commercials.
Nah, it's not
So
a wrestling match.
He could have a gang up there.
No, it's not a wrestling match. Come on.
But Twinkie the Kid, I think you have a flying bird, you have a lasso, you can lasso the bird, and then
Really? Where are you going with this?
I think that Twinkie the Kid will lasso, because if you've seen Twinkie the Kid use that lasso,
Yeah.
a lot of cool things with it. He can lasso the bird down, rope him up, and he has boots, and those boots are made for stomping. And that's what
Stomping's
they'll
what
do.
they'll do.
And then he has gloves so he doesn't have to get his hands dirty.
I'm keratin beak versus a soft Twinkie.
Hear me out.
With boots, cowboy boots.
Have you ever had a chocolate Twinkie?
No.
I have. And
Are
chocolate
they just a cupcake without the frosting?
chocolate is toxic to birds, even in small amounts.
Wait, he's chocolate.
He's chocolate Twinkie now.
Chocolate contains caffeine and theobromine. Even if having a little bit creates toxicity in birds, which includes vomiting, tremors, and seizures in birds with just a little bit.
So all he has to do is just change his insides completely.
Yeah.
This isn't the Kool-Aid man.
Just
Ken.
inject a little bit in his back. He's good to go.
Well, then you're assuming that Toucan
Or he can call his cousin, who is a chocolate Twinkie.
Well, he does. He has what is it? Cupcake something. He has a sidekick too. But
listen, I just came up with that because I want to come up with the story. But I also think Twinkie the Kid is going to survive this match.
What on earth?
you don't agree?
I feel like the toucan beak would just rip this guy to shreds. No question.
If it was just a Twinkie, sure.
But it's
this is a
so
Twinkie
big
with
that
a
you can
hat.
get a lasso around that thing.
You guys do live
Slam
in the
them
old
to the
West.
ground.
You are so proud of them.
We're proud of Twinkies.
What, is Tombstone your favorite movie of all time?
It's one of my wife's favorite movies.
Jeez. Twinkie the Kid wins.
Yeah, he does.
I'm shocked.
I'll stop it. Twinkie the Kid. Yahoo!
Now we have the Geico Gecko
From Geico Insurance.
and the Brawny Man.
From Brawny Paper Towels.
I want to say these guys could have a good conversation, but it's really just the Geico Gecko just talking at everybody. Brawny Man doesn't talk a lot.
No.
Though I
Strong
found
silent type.
a commercial where he sings a kind of banger song.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I was pretty into it.
Sing it.
I didn't know.
In
It's like
the Brawny Man voice, Kent.
I do love the Gecko because he's like an underdog.
Martin.
Dang, Gina. But there's no way he's moving beyond the Brawny Man.
I mean, this feels pretty straightforward. Geico Gecko, squished, whatnot.
Yeah, even if he was like trying to like climb up into the clothes and mess with the Brawny Man,
No.
those pants are too tight. You're not getting in those.
Brawny Man wins.
Try Brawny.
Now we have Mr. Peanut
From Flanders Peanuts.
and Lucky the Leprechaun.
From Lucky Charms. Okay, this is ridiculous.
Now, these two, I see them as maybe a little more matched than...
I think so, too.
Because Lucky's a
Yeah.
little leprechaun and Mr. Peanut's a giant peanut.
Leprechauns are quite mischievous.
They are. But I think Mr. Peanut is more... He has, like we mentioned before, his cane kind of did most of the work last time.
Yeah.
But I think Lucky the Leprechaun has more defenses against something like that. I don't think Mr. Peanut's much of a fighter. I'm saying Lucky the Leprechaun wins.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a good reasoning for it other than like Lucky the Leprechaun can summon things, and maybe, you know, like he's summoned a rope, a skateboard, a parachute, magic carpet. He might be able to summon something that could crack the peanut, or
All he has to get is to, honestly, get one of the Nutcrackers.
Oh, Nutcracker, or even if it was the skateboard, which he did do in a commercial, have it roll over Mr. Peanut and he's peanut butter.
Yep.
Okay. Lucky the Leprechaun wins.
Always have to be Lucky Charms.
And now, second side of the bracket, by the way, we are just flying.
Yes.
Tony the Tiger
From Frosted Flakes.
versus Trix Rabbit.
From Trix.
Silly
Now,
Rabbit.
this feels like almost like a final, a serial match here. But
Yeah, because it's well-known characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Trix Rabbit, to me, is more of a coward and more of a passive character. Like the kids say, silly rabbit tricks for kids. What does he say against that? Nothing. He's
Nothing.
like, oh, darn, I lost.
Well, kind of like you described Mr. Mucinex, Mr. Mucus loses every time, every commercial. That's the Trix Rabbit as
Versus, I mean, Tony the Tiger, he's built. This is a jock tiger versus like a rabbit that probably has a podcast.
Yeah, by the way,
well. Wait, hold on. Middle-aged white rabbit.
felt that obsession with foods.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty sure he's got a podcast.
Trix Rabbit, by the way, was not the first rabbit to appear on the Trix box. Disney's Brer Rabbit appeared on there in 1956.
They recast the rabbit.
They recast the rabbit.
Cancel that. Cereal of the South?
But I do think
Okay.
I do think that Tony Tiger definitely wins this
Oh, yeah,
one.
easily.
He's great. Tony the Tiger wins.
They're great.
Now we have the Burger King
From Burger King.
and the most interesting man in the world.
From Dos Equis. This is the Battle of the Beards, I think.
Yeah.
Did you say beards?
Beard.
With a D?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, because there's a beer.
Yes.
And let's be honest, Burger King, there is some booze involved.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
No, it was
Somewhere.
McDonald's. Never mind. It's that, there was a McDonald's that sold beer over in Portugal. That was weird. You get that with a Happy Meal.
We talked about the Burger King being creepy and just kind of sneaking up on people. The
He's
Sneak
got
King.
abilities.
He does.
Yes.
And a lot of the abilities come from like the first time he was introduced, like in the 70s. Did you see that commercial?
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of them.
He can levitate food and he can peel potatoes just by singing to them. So they float up in the air, he sings, and the peel comes off.
Yes. He can also walk on ceilings. He can create objects and food out of thin air. He can summon lions.
However, the most interesting man in the world is the only man to ace a Rorschach test. He once challenged his own reflection to a staring contest and he won after 4 days. His organ donation card also lists his beard. The last time he flirted with Danger, Danger got clingy. I mean, it's all Chuck Norris jokes, right?
It is.
Yes.
I do like him, and I know he could go really far, or we could stop him right now, essentially, because like Joel said in the last show, and it was actually a really good point, Joel, I'll just say this one time in the history of Baconsale. He might be a liar.
Well, okay. I'll say this. It's not that he's a liar, but all of the things that he's talking about happened in the past.
Okay.
This is not past most interesting man in the world. He may have had a lot of stories. This is him now, a little older, a little run down.
So telling about the legends.
Yes, it's
the
like,
life he's
I did all
lived.
this great stuff, and I'm like, yeah, cool. What are you doing? What have you done for me lately? Dun, 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 ooh.
So wait, how does the Burger King win?
The Burger King honestly grows larger, that like the King Kong size, because he can do that apparently, and he just kind of punts the most interesting man in the world through the most interesting football uprights in the world.
I feel like, you know, that scene in Shrek, the first Shrek, when they first get to Duloc and there's the giant headed Farquaad.
Yeah.
He just kind of falls over.
Yeah.
That's what I see the Burger King as. He's too top heavy. The big head's weird. Interesting man in the world. He's got this.
So it's charisma versus creepiness.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think if the Burger King would have met most interesting man in the world in his prime, that the most interesting man in the world would have won.
If we're looking for the fine line between sexual harassment and flirting, it's Burger King and and it's Dos Equis guy.
Yeah, for some reason it's okay for the most interesting man, but Burger King gets sent to HR.
Burger King man once turned a man into a human-sized milkshake.
I'm going to go with Joel's argument. I think it's all past stories. And I think unless he beat the Burger King 30 years ago, he probably couldn't beat him now.
So you guys take the Burger King?
It's the Burger King.
It's the Burger King.
All right, the Burger King wins.
Go double whopper with the king.
I think that's a bit of an upset.
Yeah, I think so too.
It wasn't an easy decision, but
Clearly it was.
I know
it's one that was made.
I know for a fact there's a bracket out there that had most interesting man.
By the way, thanks,
going
Drew.
all the way.
Yes, fill out your own brackets and submit them to us on social media. We love seeing what you thought was going to happen.
Now we have Bibendum
Michelin Man from Michelin Tire Company.
and Spuds McKenzie.
From Bud Light.
Do you guys wonder why the Michelin Man is white?
Not after my research. Does he have a podcast too? The Trix Rabbit.
Generally not in modern day America.
T-shirt I do.
Zach, do you know why? As a car guy, do you know why?
No, I don't.
Because tires weren't colored black. They put some carbon in there until 1912. Before that, they were kind of like a gray or a white.
Okay.
Yeah, so that became a thing back then.
This is kind of funny because dogs chase cars. Dogs chase tires. Right? That does kind of work out. However, I would say Spuds is weaker. Spuds did die of kidney failure.
Oh, he's so weak.
The real dog, the real bull terrier.
Whereas Bibendium has now lived 120 years.
I don't know. I
actually don't like Bibendium as a mascot. Like,
No?
I know there's legacy there.
Lord of industry, master of all he surveyed,
Patriotic exponent of the French spirit.
will easily take on road hazards.
I do think Bibendum could probably roll over Spuds McKenzie.
I think Spuds McKenzie has charisma on his side.
Okay, go on.
And he was against an emphatic camel last time.
Yeah.
I don't think that Bibendium, Michelin Man, is going to be wowed by Spuds McKenzie. I think Michelin Man is going to take this.
Yeah, and I think Spuds will be fighting under the influence.
Yeah.
Bibendum looks like the suit that like police officers wear to train canine units.
Oh, wow.
Actually, in the
Love
French,
that.
in the French
Yeah.
dubbed version of Ghostbusters, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is named Bibendium Chamalo.
What?
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Bibendium Chamalo, which, was that was my nickname in college too.
Chamalo.
We got to clarify. I think it's Bibendum, not Bibendium.
I think it's Bibendium.
It's Bibendum.
I'm looking at
Bibendum.
Bibendum.
It's on the chart.
Bibendum.
How many stars does Bibendum get?
Oh, yeah.
Literally, same company. All right.
So weird.
Bibendum wins.
Michelin, a better way forward.
Now we have Buzz B
From Honey Nut Cheerios.
and Smokey Bear.
From Wildfires?
The U.S. Forest Service.
Listen, I'm really glad that Smokey Bear won last round, and because I was feeling bad. I went out into the wild this past weekend, and I met a ranger who asked my kids questions about preventing wildfires, and gave them some bracelets. Seriously,
With Smokey Bear on him?
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what they say? Smokey Bear always says, only you can
Prevent
and then
wildfires.
my wife and I are like, prevent forest fires. It's wildfires now.
Wow.
Was he proud? Did you guys get gold stars?
We got red and blue wristbands, don't you know?
That's so cute.
It was adorable. So now I'm on Team Smokey Bear.
So meanwhile, we have Busby, who has honey as a weapon, right? He has his honey mace.
Bears and bees. The Winnie the Pooh fan in me is really stoked here.
Yeah. Here's my thought.
Okay.
Busby flies and is trying, and Smokey Bear is sitting there just winging the shovel around, trying to hit him, waving his hat at him, trying to hit him. And Buzzbee's so fast he can get around him. And then Buzzbee flies up and stings Smokey Bear right on the arm. And it rips out Buzzbee's stinger and does nothing to Smokey Bear. And Buzzbee dies. And Smokey Bear's
why
like,
was Buzzbee fighting so hard? If he just didn't fight, he'd survive probably.
I don't know why bees do that. I honestly don't know how Buzzbee got this far. Well, one round in the bracket already. He's a bee. Who did he fight against?
Mr. Owl.
Oh, Mr. Owl. That makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
I think
There you
Buzzbee's head is a little bit too big for the wings. Like I think Buzzbee in reality probably couldn't fly.
So we're saying that he is going to try to sting Smokey Bear.
Yeah, that's all
it's
he
going
got.
to rip out the low cholesterol situation of his insides.
Yes.
And he's done
because if
for.
you don't know that, when honeybees do sting you and they leave their stinger in you, it actually rips out their guts.
And you get lower cholesterol?
Look at the guts and go, not bad.
Yeah.
All right. Smokey Bear wins.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
And now it's the Energizer Bunny
From Energizer Batteries.
and Coco the Monkey.
From Cocoa Krispies. Boo.
This is a good matchup.
A bunny versus a monkey?
Uh-huh.
I found out this, by the way, that was interesting to me. That despite the immense popularity of the Energizer Bunny campaign, sales actually went down during the years that it ran.
What?
Because people were just buying whatever batteries were there. Duracell,
Okay.
Energizer, didn't matter.
Question. Do people actually eat Cocoa Krispies? Do people eat them and
No.
enjoy them?
I eat Cocoa Krispies,
They're a tier 3 cereal.
but this isn't,
Far and away.
this isn't about the tastier cereal, because the Energizer cereal's terrible.
When I lick batteries.
Coco the Monkey is agile. He can
Yeah.
swing through trees.
Yeah.
He does have friends like Shorty Giraffe, Alan Anteater, Hefty Hippo, Crafty Croc, and the Gorillas are his arch enemies. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't have a bunny friend.
No, he does not. I guess I could see the Energizer Bunny going to every tree that Coco's in and probably slowly driving him crazy. Because if Coco's ever asleep, banging on that tree, and he flies to another tree, starts banging on the other tree, goes a little bit nuts. Maybe he's a little bit tired, and that's probably a little bit wired.
He goes Coco nuts.
I think he deserves a little appreciation.
And
Coco the Monkey?
I don't know. Whoever's tired and wired.
yeah, and I think he'd finally drops out of the tree. I think Energizer Bunny hits the tree. Coco Monkey drops out, and then the banging continues.
I think this comes down to endurance, and the Energizer Bunny has it in spades.
Yeah.
You guys are both on Energizer Bunny?
Yes.
Because here's how I see it playing.
Okay, please do.
Coco the Monkey is good at swinging on vines. He takes the vines, wraps the Energizer Bunny up so he can't bang his drums anymore, and he throws him off a cliff. And then he's like, I got this. I won. I'm great.
Yeah, yeah.
He goes to sleep in his tree, and all of a sudden he hears, doof, 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 doof. Energizer comes back. Happens multiple times. Energizer definitely wins this one because there's no way you can stop.
Well, how does he come
Energizer
back?
Bunny.
You can't just say characters come back.
He just appears in commercials. You just see me complain about that.
Yeah, that's true.
The Energizer Bunny keeps going and going and going and going.
Go with me here. Battery tiering episode, Duracell. All right, the Duracell Bunny, or the Energizer Bunny wins.
Nothing outlasts the Energizer. They keep going and going.
And now we have Little Caesar
From Little Caesars.
and Mr. Six.
From Six Flags. The ugliest mascot we have. Sorry, that's mean.
Mascots. Little Caesar ain't no looker. Little chest hair curling up.
Have you seen the inside of his throat?
Pizza.
It's the scariest
oddly
thing.
straight. What do they call it? Straight.
Yeah, straight-shaded esophagus or something like that.
He's fine, but when you have him in like a mascot at like an event, it's quite terrifying.
Mr. Six
Yeah.
or Little Caesars?
Little Caesar.
He's
Yeah.
big.
I mean, once again, Little Caesar doesn't have much. I mean, he has leadership ability, right?
And a spear.
And his weakness is getting stabbed in the back by his friends. Mr. Six is a friend to nobody. Is very scary, but he can't really get around. Yeah, he dances a lot, but his method of travel is a bus. And a spear can take out the tires of a bus or a radio.
Oh, the dude-
Obvious logic.
That takes-
Everybody knows a spear can take out a bus.
The tires,
That's how all those wars
the wheels
were
on the
lost.
bus get very speared. And also that radio is getting speared as well. So the Venga Boys won't be able to play and no dancing will happen.
I completely disagree.
Okay.
The music is not on the radio, Kent. The music is in his heart.
Oh, that's a bad heart. Venga Boys are playing in his heart. Oh, that's disgusting.
Okay, how about this?
Okay.
Right, what does he have on the spear? We are forgetting
Pizza.
How many? Two of them.
Two pizzas.
So what he does, takes the pizza off, throws it like a frisbee underneath the feet of the dancing Mr. Six. He slips up, stabbed in the heart, done, over.
Yeah.
I disagree, but Are you guys both voting Little
Oh,
Caesar?
yeah. I just hate Mr. Six so much.
I see Mr. Six.
Did you
Mr.
know
Six is like a Pied Piper. If you notice in the commercials, people come out, they're all bored, they're all angry, and he comes out and starts dancing, and they're all like, oh, yes.
Do you know the real history behind the Pied Piper? It's basically the same story, Mr. Six. Luring children. He's gross.
What? Anyway, but what I'm saying is he can control people with his music. I'd see Little Caesar getting kind of wooed in by this idea of, I'll go on the party bus. Sure, he gets in there, and Mr. Six take it, drive it off a cliff with Mr. Six inside.
Please.
They both.
Did you know he's coming back for like their Halloween? Like he's been gone for 14 years.
I was reading about Mr. Six, and
they're bringing him back.
Like when the new company bought him, they're like, no, we hate that guy, and they just got rid of him. Mm-hmm. But anyway.
Good.
Fine, whatever.
Little Caesar wins.
Pizza.
Now we have Mr. Monopoly
From Monopoly.
and McGruff, the crime dog.
I would watch
National Crime Prevention
this
Council.
movie. Think about this movie. The corruption from a very powerful leader, a very manipulative guy over government, and McGruff being a vigilante, because he's not really a cop, by the way.
So we have a noir dog detective.
Yeah, he's a pre-detective, by the way.
Dog detective.
He's a Minority Report pre-detective.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he can sense when
he's a
crimes are
precog?
about. Yeah, he can sense when crimes are about to happen. Can he stop them? No, but he can tell you to feel guilty.
No, because McGruff the crime dog, no, he's not a cop. But the thing is, he is all about the public rising up and fighting against crime.
Mm-hmm.
And then what? The Mr. Monopoly is Mr. Burns from Simpsons?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Which means he's very powerful.
I found out, by the way, the character of Mr. Monopoly appeared on chance cards and community chess cards in 1936, but he didn't even have a name. It wasn't until 1946 when there was another game called Rich Uncle where they gave him a name.
Is that why he has such a bad name?
Milburn Pennybags.
Oh, no, that's a good name. Kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the advantages of Mr. Pennybags is the authority over police.
How does that
Right?
work?
Corruption.
Straight to jail.
This is Gotham.
But you think
How does that
he's
work?
going to send Mr. McGruff the crime dog to jail?
He's
Pardon me?
going to give him orders.
What does that do on the battlefield? What does his money do for them in the throes of battle?
Paper cuts.
Yeah, but there needs to be some advantage here,
Throwing
right?
coins at him.
Apparently coins. I've seen Scrooge
honestly,
sleep through those
Mistborn.
things.
I do picture it kind of like a gladiator thing, like he probably gets like a shiv or something, or has someone stab McGruff before he goes out into the battlefield. It's like a Commodus and Maximus thing.
Yeah, silver spoon with penny bags, and I think McGruff has a gruff past.
Well, he does.
I think he's done some things and seen some things in his previous life that he's have to overcome, and that's why.
Okay.
He thinks that
now I could go both ways, because I do think McGruff can bite the cane, because his bite can break bones. Apparently,
Bite more than the cane.
However, what is one of the pieces on a Monopoly board that is owned by Mr. Monopoly?
A shoe?
Boat.
A dog.
Oh, there is.
It's a terrier.
It's a
Little Scottish terrier.
It's a dog, regardless.
He's go.
Not all dogs are the same. Ken.
What if he bronzed McGruff and he became a player in this
He'd have
most
to stop
dangerous
McGruff
game?
to bronze McGruff.
If we're using Monopoly pieces, he also has a car, Joel.
Yeah, but at the same time, McGruff, he notices suspicious cars. They do not escape his vision. Are we really going to dwell on this? McGruff is going to bite the head off Mr. Monopoly.
Do I want McGruff to win? Yes, I do, but I kind of want to make a case for Mr. Monopoly.
Mr. Monopoly and his non-monocle face are gone.
He's a dog from inner city Chicago. He wins.
Agreed.
McGruff wins.
And help take a bite out of crime.
And now we have Captain Crunch.
Oh, is this our final
Captain
matchup
Crunch
for this first round?
It is.
Yes.
And Sponge Monkeys.
From Quiznos.
Let the Sponge Monkeys go forward.
It was against the Pillsbury Doughboy.
They're rough, Kent. They're rough.
No, they really are rough. Yeah, we're talking about dangerous, unpredictable creatures. The Sponge Monkeys have it in
Sponge
spades.
Monkeys have teeth big enough to take on Captain Crunch.
I don't know.
Actually, so we have a pirate versus a fake captain.
They both wear captain hats.
Yeah. And there's
Kind of interesting matchup.
two of them. They fly.
He's a real captain.
They fly now?
They fly
He's
now.
not a real captain. He only has 3 stripes. He's a commander at
fixed
best.
that.
At best.
He's been
Because
in
guess what? The Navy called him out and said, we have no affiliation with Captain Crunch.
Over the years, he's wore 1 bar, which signifies he was an ensign, 2 bars, which signifies he's a lieutenant, or 3 bars, which means he was a commander. But they did end up giving him 4 bars.
What's next? Captain America's not really a captain.
What about Captain EO?
What about Captain EO?
What about Captain EO?
Captain Solo?
And the Wookiee?
Save it for our captain's episode.
How good of a fighter?
We should do that.
It's
A
kinda
captain
fun.
bracket?
Actually, yeah.
That could be fun.
How
Add
good
that
of
to
a
the
fighter is Captain Crunch? So he's 5'5", by the way. He does have a sword at his disposal, but he's also very old. Right? I'm not saying the Sponge Monkeys are good fighters, but I want to know how good of a fighter you guys think he is.
I think
because guess what? He's a captain. He delegates.
I think he's good. He's probably decent with the sword, not because he's had to use it in battle, but because he's had a lot of time to be bored. And you ever had a sword in your hand? You have some swishing, flicking moves.
No, when you're bored, though, you just get lazy.
No. I think that he's a bygone era sort of guy.
So what are you saying, Zach?
I think that I would take the captain here.
Captain's going to win this?
I think so.
I just want to see.
Cut up those sponge monkeys.
I want to see a show where they're on his crew, and they're always in his giant,
sponge
oversized
monkeys?
hat. Because really, they could pull the hat down over his face.
We love the milk.
Is they're going to pull out?
I'm the captain now. I'm the captain now.
Wait, is it going to be Captain Phillips versus Captain Marvel?
Captain Crunch.
The boat's a pepper bar.
Oh, hat over his face, pepper in the eyes,
Are you saying sponge monkeys?
guitar in the ear, because it's a little guitar. No, I'm making the dumb argument for dumb characters. Baconsale.
That's all we commit to.
I'll give it to Captain Crunch. It is more realistic.
Joel.
Okay, because I could make the argument. You guys both gave it to Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
I was going to make the argument that Captain Crunch is like the most interesting man in the world. I think most of his fighting days are in the past. But I
can go back. Do you want me to go back with Spice Monkeys?
I think
they might be in the past, but at least he's had them.
yes, and I think he does have experience. I think the Sponge Monkeys,
They're so scary.
they're scary, but I don't think he's seen things. Captain Crunch has seen things.
Yeah, that's true.
They're not going to intimidate him.
I mean, we got to figure out when he was active duty.
Yeah.
That might change things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
All
there
right,
you go.
Captain Crunch wins. Welcome to the next round. Wow. Okay. Now we have Kool-Aid Man versus Old Spice Guy.
Two powerful figures.
You must figure out
masculine voices.
how can the Kool-Aid Man be defeated? Because he makes a strong case if we don't even know how he's going to die.
Okay.
Can Old Spice Guy punch him? No. And break him? No.
He can try to trick him. That's what he does, right? Because he stands there and scenes appear around him. But guess what?
Everyone's a trickster.
Walls appear around him. Showers appear around him. But guess who breaks through walls without getting hurt?
Oh yeah.
In fact, his striking strength is wall class plus, and his durability is wall level plus.
Good heavens.
Okay, go with me here.
Okay, let's hear it.
Kool-Aid Man, he's going along and he notices this contraption that is all put together to film a commercial for the Old Spice Guy.
Okay.
He walks up, he crashes through one wall, and the entire rig is ruined. And Old Spice Guy just sits there waiting for his next thing to appear, and it never does. And he's caught in an eternal loop of just waiting.
Wow.
That's dark.
Yeah.
Directed by David Lynch, apparently.
Exactly.
Jeez.
I'm just looking up some facts here. Did you guys know that Kool-Aid Man actually was in a comic series produced by Marvel?
Yeah. Have that right here.
He fought villains known as Thirsties and What Are Women for Old Spice Guy.
Take it easy.
He also fought a man engulfed in fire called Scorch.
Uh-huh.
And I just had this.
Old Spice Guy is pretty scorching.
I actually, when I was a kid, we were goofing around, my brothers, and like fighting, how brothers do, just play fighting, whatever, roughhousing. And at one point, one of my brothers took a bottle of Old Spice and poured it behind the couch, thinking it was going to be on the top of my head. It was in my eyes.
Oh, no.
And it burned so bad.
And smelled so bad,
So
too.
bad. I smelled great for a long time.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to share that story because I'd rather see Old Spice go away because it has painful memories.
What was the villain that he defeated?
Thirsties.
The Thirsties and who? The fire or something or other?
Scorch.
Okay. Isaiah Mustafa played for the Arizona State Sun Devils. He was a wide receiver.
So Scorch?
He's Scorch.
That's a stretch, Zach, especially since we already made the argument that he won. But
saying.
I'll take
this.
it. I'll take it.
Kool-Aid Man for the win.
Kool-Aid Man wins.
Oh, yeah.
Now we have
How did Sugar Bear beat Ronald McDonald?
With a punch. A vitamin-packed punch.
He's a 5-foot bear.
Well, okay, you want to fight a 5-foot bear that can punch you in the face?
He's a skinny bear.
Sugar Bear versus the Jolly Green Giant.
Oh, boy.
Listen, if the Coca-Cola Bears can't beat the Jolly Green Giant,
Joshua fit the Battle of Jericho. Jericho.
Are you going to make the case? Make the case, Joel.
That the Jolly Green Giant
is going to use the power of
the vitamin pack punch in the Giant's Achilles tendon, felling him to the ground.
All right, so hold on. In this story, is Sugar Bear David? The Jolly Green Giant is Goliath.
He's going to take one of those golden crisps, put it in a sling.
He's a biblical bear.
How?
Which Bible story can he adapt and why?
Throwing a sugar crisp at his head.
But who adapts Bible stories better than vegetables? Jolly Green Giants.
And the she-bear. Well, he's a he-bear. Joel, are you going to go with the upset? Because if you get rid of Jolly Green Giant at this point, I mean, I love you for it.
I'm voting for Sugar Bear. I think Jolly Green he's a passive. I just told you. Golden Crisp in the sling to the forehead of the Jolly Green Giant.
Of a 55-foot tall giant.
Yep.
No, Sugar Bear has become this bracket's hopper. It just
don't you say that or I will kill him off right now.
It doesn't make any sense.
Zach, are you going Jolly Green Giant on this one?
I just don't see how Sugar Bear could do it. I don't see... You are overvaluing the weight of a Golden Crisp.
A vitamin pack punch.
Oh my gosh, the punch.
And Joshua at the Battle of Jericho.
I kind of just want to put him forward so we can hear about more Bible stories. Because if he goes up against Mr. Clean, for example...
Oh,
it's okay, guys. I know it's a losing battle.
It's Jolly Green Giant.
Gotta be the Jolly Green Giant.
I'm okay with that.
Eat your veggies, undo that sugar.
That's a fun next matchup. All right, Jolly Green Giant wins. Now we have Mr. Clean versus Twinkie the Kid.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
No, this is an easy one, guys.
Magic erasers and Twinkies are made of the same thing.
Yes. Allegedly.
Are magic erasers just in all food?
Yes. Magic erasers with grease? Wendy's. Magic erasers with cream filling? Twinkies.
So weird.
Allegedly. Also really weird, not allegedly weird.
No, guys, this is pretty obvious that Mr. Clean is made to clean up messes. And what is a Twinkie except for one big mess waiting to happen?
How is that a mess? You just eat it whole and you just enjoy it.
What's in your fingies after, Kent? Oh, God, I said fingies. What is happening to me?
Yeah!
You know what, Joel? Nothing.
I've been working on this for years.
I don't want to say fingers.
The only thing that is making a mess is
Twinkie
the wrapper.
fingies.
Is the wrapper face down that has the three little pockets of
the cream.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. It's
dollops.
You pinch it and then it like a little part of it comes off. It's stuck on your finger.
No, but we know that Mr. Clean has the ability to teleport from one place to the other. He just appears in places, right? Mm-hmm. Anything the Twinkie the Kid does to lasso him isn't going to stop him.
Is he a genie? I feel like he's a genie.
If Twinkie the Kid carried, he might have a chance. But he doesn't.
I have a feeling like there are some chemicals that can melt a Twinkie. I don't think you can really crush a Twinkie.
That's what the Twinkie's made of.
Yeah, chemicals. Does it make him stronger? Does it make him stronger? Is he bigger? Does he expand?
Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, I have it. Okay. Mr. Clean. He's like, I got to help this woman clean because I showed up in her kitchen and she thinks it's weird that I'm here. And he starts cleaning and it's the Twinkie. And the Twinkie gets chemicals in it and it expands. And then it jumps.
It is a sponge cake.
So he's using a Twinkie to clean and it expands.
Sounds like an ineffective method.
Well, clearly it's making, and he's getting really frustrated because things are getting really messy. And there's no more shiny spots for Mr. Clean to have power anymore.
Is that how you defeat him? A dirty counter?
Yeah, you break all the mirrors and a dirty counter.
Mr. Clean uses the Twinkie and then it makes things dirtier and that defeats him?
Yeah.
What happened to the Twinkie covered in chemicals?
He only shows up in clean objects, in shiny objects. I'm coming up with a dumb argument. Go with me.
So you're saying he only appears in a shiny surface?
Yeah.
But all he has to do is appear once.
I mean, because I was saying that the Twinkie's going to lose because of the chemicals, but it's also made out of chemicals.
It might be immune to them.
You get water on a Twinkie and the thing will melt.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Clean uses lots of water.
What do you think that the chemicals are made of? It's like 60% water.
All right. Mr. Clean wins.
Yeah, fine.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute.
Now we have... this is a good one. Brawny Man versus Lucky the Leprechaun.
All right, so the brawny man, he's seen as a lumberjack, but he's often portrayed in a lot of occupations, such as a construction worker, a firefighter, and a mechanic. So basically, a guy's guy, right?
He's one of the Paw Patrol? Can you talk about conjuring? One of the things I noticed is that in one of the ones I watched, he said, I'll make myself a snowmobile and ride away. And he just conjures a snowmobile in the middle of nowhere and rides it. He has that ability. The brawny man, I mean, he's a big dude. He's a big dude. Mm-hmm. But I think Lucky the Leprechaun has magic on his side. And he can...
magic is great. I agree. But guess what? Leprechauns, according to PBS... actually, according to Irish folk tradition,
all right,
if you wear green, it makes you invisible to leprechauns.
A lot of green plaid in the world.
A lot of green plaid. And
please, Mr. Brawny Man does not wear green. Look him up. Yeah, bright red.
I literally am right now. Multiple variations. He's worn green.
I think that the Brawny...
Red.
Look at the modern versions. Keep going.
Modern versions.
I think the Brownie Man's only real weakness is the high-powered advertising executive who comes back home to her hometown to discover the true meaning of Christmas.
I think that the Lucky the Leprechaun will make Brawny Man's axe disappear like it did in marketing years ago. And then Brawny Man, what does he have? He's got
Also,
size,
guess
sure.
what?
Shrinks him down to his own size. And then they have
Brawny
a little
Man,
match.
surrounded by trees, also green. He's surrounded by green at all times. That's just what he is.
Trees are not invisible to leprechauns, Kent.
It's green. Leprechauns can't see it.
Please, they live in trees.
Also, what's he going to do? Throw milk on him? Splash milk on him? Even if he gets him to the same size, right?
He's going to conjure a dagger and make the Brawny Man
he's
go
11
away.
years old, and we have basically Paul Bunyan.
Without a blue ox and without an axe, because Lucky already made it disappear.
He has an axe.
No, he made it disappear.
Oh, come on.
He made it disappear. You just said yourself he can conjure
Listen,
things.
if Ronald McDonald makes things disappear and they come back, the axe is coming back.
Not before Lucky gets his way. It kills the Brawny Man.
He's crushed because he can't see him.
The Brawny Man lives in the woods, which means he's probably very superstitious. He sees a leprechaun, he's going to freak out.
He dares to be in the woods.
What's
and
the
he knows what's out
connection there? People in the woods are quite superstitious.
If he's living among the trees, he fears the tree people.
Just because he wants to live off the grid doesn't mean he's scared of
when
magic.
you've been camping in the woods, any weird noise, you freak out.
Mr. Clean got to use water in his argument. Lucky the Leprechaun's magic doesn't work underwater. So it's paper towels, wet paper towels. He just wipe them right up.
What?
Underwater, and he can't use his magic.
Do you see what he's doing, Zach? He's doing one of those Kent arguments where it's like, all of a sudden the world is filled with water.
Well, that's what Mr. Clean had.
Noah's flood.
He had water and he put it under Twinkie.
Well, I don't think we're fighting in a forest. We're
we not?
fighting on. It's not a home game for Mr. Brownie.
Well, I think they both function in wooded areas. But at the same time, Lucky Leprechaun's small, fast, and can get around those trees. Whereas Brawny Man's like,
But how can he defeat him? Just because he can move around.
I told you, he conjures away the axe. He shrinks
away.
Brawny Man down to his size, and then he whaps him upside the head with a spoon.
But if they're the same
Honestly,
size,
even
Brawny Man's
easier to
stronger.
catch.
I can't see how he could reasonably defeat Brawny Man.
He's got magic on his
also,
side.
this is Brawny Man can also carry giant boulders, so he can just throw boulders up in the air if there are rocks around and let it rain boulders, and then one of them's going to hit Lucky.
No. A leprechaun, a fast, agile leprechaun who can conjure a snowmobile out of nothing.
Fast and agile. What's his favorite food?
Lucky Charms.
Oh, he's
which
not
gives him
fast
luck on his side.
He is not fast
He's going
and
to
agile
take
anymore.
those blue diamonds and the red balloons, which I never understood why red balloons were in there. They're not really
Empty
okay.
carbs and sugar.
Rabbit's feet.
Empty carbs and sugar. He has no nutrients in his body.
They're after his Lucky Charms. It doesn't say he eats them. He
Also,
eats
you know
children.
what's weird? Also part of PBS and Irish folk tradition, if you toss a clover into the mouth of a leprechaun, it can stop them.
What Brawny Man does
And
not
guess
have
what?
the
Lucky
dexterity to
Leprechaun,
pick up a single clover.
He eats clovers. That's a marshmallow. He poisons himself.
Lucky gets his nutrients from children.
Zach, you got to decide.
Oh, I was all on Brawny until then. Yeah, I still.
Kent's argument is he wears green. That makes them invisible.
He's the Brawny Man.
That's kind of weak. But
If you're wearing a green shirt as Brawny Man,
versus a
you're doing it
clumsy
wrong.
leprechaun child.
Red.
listen, I think that in the realm of leprechauns, Lucky's kind of he's a weak. Brawny Man is so strong. It's literally in his name. Brawny Man wins.
Brawny.
Try Brawny.
Now we have Tony the Tiger versus the Burger King.
Why'd you say it like that? The Burger King.
The Burger King.
Okay, so an athletic tiger versus a magical creep.
Yeah, a strong wildcat.
No, not just strong, superhuman strength. He has speed, claws, charisma, and he's an Olympic level athlete. Not for breaking, but for actual real Olympic sports. They're great swimmers. Once Tony the Tiger has kicked a ball to the moon and it ricocheted back in 3 seconds back to Earth, that's 201 megatons of force in one kick.
Jeez.
Which is ridiculous.
It's like Joel Liver research there.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm saying that to help my argument. I just don't like the Burger King because he is a creeper.
I also
by practice.
I have an affection for Tony the Tiger because his voice is done by Thurl Ravenscroft, or was done before, who's the voice of the Grinch in How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the old animated one.
Do you wish
And he's on the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Do you wish the Burger King had a voice? Would that make him better, creepier?
No, because the silent is creepy. But I'm seeing these two fighting, and I just feel like, that's the problem, is once again, when you put magic in the equation, it gets weird. Like the Burger King, I know, for example, he can separate himself from his shadow, so it could be 2-on-1 against Tony the Tiger, which is a difficult battle. He can also, the Burger King can summon portals and transport to other locations.
I think pride is his downfall, though. As the king, he feels like he can't be touched.
But he's always just trying to share. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
whenever he appears, he's not trying to harm. He's just trying to share.
And I will say, in the commercials, it's not like he runs a lot. He just shows up. Like there's one time where he shows up on scaffolding on top of a building, and it's this creepiest look he's ever given.
He does run. He's in a series of NFL commercials where he ends up on the field catching touchdowns.
Who's the best player in the NFL? Tony the Tiger. I do think that if it comes to speed, like let's
Obviously,
say
everybody knows.
Let's say the Burger King creeps up on Tony the Tiger, a punch to the face is going to take that plastic mask right off.
Oh, so now you're okay with punches. When it was Sugar Bear before, you're like, punches do nothing.
This feels more even. It really does.
So what are you saying?
Oh, I'm saying Tony the Tiger. I love him. I love him. Always have. Always will.
A jacked wildcat versus a creepy king.
Kind of like a drunk, creepy, sometimes magical king.
I've just never seen the Burger King use his powers to harm others. Like he's always just kind of like he's almost like timid, like oh I didn't mean to scare you, and then he'll hand them Burger King.
He does seem more like a trickster
Yeah,
than an aggressor.
yeah. Whereas Tony the Tiger, he's got claws. I'm saying Tony the Tiger as well.
I like it. Tony the Tiger wins.
They're great.
And now we have Babendum versus Smokey Bear.
Ooh, this is a good one.
BB Diendum, what are we calling him?
BB-8.
BB.
So what are the French known for in war times?
Surrender.
Wow.
That's it. That's what we're going with.
Yeah.
Michelin tires surrender.
Yeah. I mean, I can give you more facts if you'd like. You ready?
Okay.
Michelin Man is 120 years old. He did have a tough youth. Like he used to be a fighter. They showed him as a gladiator in old advertisements, but kind of like the most interesting man. That was a very long time ago. He's expanded now. You know what weakens a tire wall?
Heat.
Oxidation.
Oh, yeah. Dry rot.
It causes tire to become brittle, lose strength. I mean, honestly, he's 120 years old. Oxidation has happened. Also,
He was a gladiator, a kickboxer, a nimble ballroom dancer in the Italian market, and even a pleasure-seeking ladies' man.
oh, that's weird. And I do think that Smokey Bear has mastery over fire because, he knows how to fight fires, and firefighters often use
He knows how
controlled
to
fires.
prevent them, not fight them.
Tires age very rapidly in heat. I mean, really, if you take a shovel to the sidewall of a tire, it's gone. Like, right at, he's got to attack him a certain way. And if he attacks him from the top or the bottom, he's popped.
But he's a very durable person to fight.
But if a tire is old and popped,
So
that thing's going to be like...
You have never picked
flopping
up
around.
a tire in your life, have you? They're quite heavy.
But have you seen him? He's not like a tire.
So the Michelin Man and Smokey the Bear are fighting, and they're dueling it out, and Smokey Bear is hitting him with his shovel, and Babendum is taking the hits and bouncing off him. Smokey Bear pulls out his claws, starts clawing into him, but he's a very durable person. But he gets a poke in the side, and Babendum starts to go down, kind of starts falling to the ground, starts deflating a little bit. And then...
Ooh, go on.
Babendum's canine companion.
Okay.
Bubbles.
You lost it.
Whoa.
You remember him from Ad's little tire dog?
I can't say I do.
He comes up and rips the throat out of Smokey Bear.
Okay. A dog versus a bear. That's not going to happen.
Well, because he's not expecting. He's focused on Babendum.
Can I double down? Can I double down?
Sure.
You know who's a great master of disguise? Smokey Bear. There's a commercial where he's wearing a woman's face, and she gives.
That's creepy.
Have you seen it? You've seen it.
Yes, I have.
And it's a woman monologuing for a minute, and it's Smokey Bear, and it's the weirdest thing. And because Babendum thinks he's a ladies' man from the past, he'll be like, "Hey, what's going on?" It really just takes one poke of a finger, right? One stab to the tires, and he's gone. He's going to be tricked. He's going to be overpowered, and he's old.
But he doesn't have bubbles. Smokey Bear doesn't have bubbles. Does he have any sidekicks? Does anyone care about Smokey Bear?
Listen, why are you bringing the sidekicks in so much? They're going to be cheering from the sides and crying.
Zach, you got to call it.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. If you're really struggling, Smokey Bear is Galactus size when he wants to be. He's the size of a literal mountain. All it takes is literally he could poke a finger through the skull of Babendum and pop him. That is a tire wall.
He doesn't have a skull.
Closing argument for Babendum.
He is more durable than Kent's giving him credit for.
He's old tires.
He's not old tires.
120 years
You
old.
don't think he gets those rotated and changed?
It's his whole body.
This is the most judgmental matchup.
Oh, go on.
Guilting you about wildfires versus what your restaurant is like.
Tire fires.
Tire fire. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Only you can prevent tire fires.
Smokey Bear is about prevention, not fighting.
But
That's the thing.
aren't they all fighting to the death?
No. I mean, yes.
Literally, Sugar Bear, who's the coolest, chillest bear, beat Ronald McDonald in a death match.
He punches.
Smokey Bear is there to fight.
But who has a more killer instinct?
Smokey Bear. He's a bear.
Or
a bear?
French tire?
Or a big French
That
tire.
argument went sideways.
By the way, yeah, French people don't fight.
That argument went sideways very quickly.
And all they do is eat pastries.
What? Mm-hmm. Save it for our French
Allegedly.
episode we're going to do.
Oh, actually.
I'm taking the French tires.
Oh, that's silly.
Bibendum.
That's silly.
Bibendum.
Over Smokey Bear.
Yes.
The mountain-sized bear.
Smokey Bear.
Nope.
Worst decision of the night.
Tires are quite heavy. Bibendum wins.
Michelin, a better way forward.
Now we have Energizer Bunny versus Little Caesar.
2 spears versus 2 drumsticks.
Spear stabs drum.
Yeah, you could break through the drum, and that would annoy the Energizer Bunny.
Then the bunny goes to hit the drum and just goes through it, gets caught in its own drum, stabbed in the back. Caesar knows a thing or two about that.
Is there a weakness with the Energizer Bunny's eyes? Because he wears glasses all the time. Is he really sensitive to sunlight? Or is he just cool?
Can he not see at all?
I got it.
Ray Charles.
Yeah, go on.
I got the argument. So batteries. What corrodes them?
Time,
Yeah. Leaving him in.
Yeah.
grease,
Water.
Yeah. So he's getting more acidic every day.
every day.
Every day he's getting more acidic, and this battle's been going on for a while. And then all Little Caesar has to do is put a little bit of tomato sauce from the 2 pizzas.
Well,
on the batteries.
There's some acidity there, both ways.
Yep. Corrosion.
so it's a long battle. It's a very long battle.
It's one of the longest
keeps
battles
going and
ever.
going.
Yeah.
Does Little Caesar last a long time?
Like, Little Caesar's made it pretty far. He's not a good fighter.
No.
He's
He's
not
got
a
a
good
spear.
warrior. He's a leader, not a warrior. Whereas I think Energizer Bunny is maybe more of a warrior. But the battery thing is a good argument. I think.
Is it? Because I just made that up.
No, the battery thing, because it's so exposed, it's surprising we haven't gone against that yet.
Prize against that battery with the spear
really,
pops it right
right?
out.
Is the drum stuck to the Energizer Bunny?
I believe so.
Is he committed to it? Because that really limits mobility.
Does it? I mean, he's basically on wheels, though.
You've never had a bass drum on you, have you?
They could do a
Never
chariot
touched a
race.
tire.
They're quite heavy.
Never held a bass drum. Never held a woman. What else?
If it was a chariot race versus Energizer Bunny versus Little Caesar on a chariot, that would be pretty fun to watch.
That would be fantastic.
I made my argument. I'm going to say Little Caesar's going to get the Energizer Bunny speared up, skewered on a spear, and then flip him over once or twice and catch him again in a spear.
If he's stuck to the drum, he has no mobility.
But it's also armor at the same time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, okay. All right, with that,
Yeah, let's just give it to Little
one of the
Caesar.
few characters actually wielding a weapon, Little Caesar wins.
Pizza.
Now we have McGruff the Crime Dog versus Captain Crunch.
You guys remember McGruff houses? Where they were like, people would get the background check and they could get a McGruff sticker they put in their window. And then if you were scared or like worried you were going to get kidnapped, you could just go to one of these houses, knock on the door and say, I need help. You never remember that?
No.
You don't remember that?
No.
You don't know what a McGruff house is?
No.
Wow, that's weird.
But he does remember the song.
Chicago, Illinois, 60652.
McGruff the Crime Dog versus Captain Crunch. I think Captain Crunch was a good fighter. Like I said, he's past his prime. He has his sword, but I think McGruff the Crime Dog has just size and strength on his side. Captain Crunch is a little man.
And he stands out. That costume stands out. Like, even if he was hiding, that hat is going to appear over everything.
And if we're going with the argument here, like you did with Lucky Charms, that if he's eating his own product, his health is not going to be great.
His mouth is going
Whereas
to be very
what does
sore.
McGruff eat? Crime. Takes a bite out of crime.
he just takes a bite. He doesn't eat it.
That's his sustenance. That's what fuels him.
No, it's just a nibble here and there.
McGruff the Crime
like a
Dog
little bit of
takes
crime.
this. McGruff the Crime Dog takes
Easily.
this.
Yeah, McGruff the Crime Dog wins.
And help take a bite out of crime.
This is the Elite Eight, the Great Eight.
Wow.
Kool-Aid Man versus Jolly Green Giant. Could be a final right here. This is a good
Honestly,
one.
I love them
It
both.
could be.
This is a good one.
By the way, they do have a 55-foot statue of the Jolly Green Giant in Minnesota, in Blue Earth, Minnesota. Fun fact. Meanwhile, the Kool-Aid Man, well, I'll say this. In 1994, the live-action character was retired. So this Kool-Aid Man that's fighting right now, he's a retired Kool-Aid.
Most of these characters are, Joel. Do you know what kind of era we're talking about?
But I also think that if we're going to
Are you
get-
saying the Jolly Green Giant is a relevant character?
Yes.
No.
You say irrelevant or irrelevant?
Both.
But I think that the Jolly Green Giant is going to take one stomp on the Kool-Aid Man, and that crystal is shattered.
And then he steps on it, stabs himself, something bad
It's
happens.
Crystal. Here's what's going to happen. I don't know if you guys saw the commercial, but you probably didn't. There's a commercial where he literally makes Kool-Aid Man makes a girl disappear and her hat falls to the ground. A boy goes to grab the hat and it has the face of the Kool-Aid Man and it becomes a port key that takes the boy to another dimension.
Whoa.
The Kool-Aid Man can create inanimate objects and make them living. Honestly, anything, even billboards.
Who can?
The Kool-Aid Man can. Thank you for that lead in.
You're welcome.
And I think really the Kool-Aid Man can become a port key for the Jolly Green Giant into a giant microwave because microwaves are not good for plants. And he will get real soggy.
You literally microwave all these vegetables.
Not the Jolly Green Giant.
And what do they become? Soggy.
With no nutrients left.
No.
Yeah. Also,
there's not anything near a nutrient with the Kool-Aid.
if we're talking powers, like Kool-Aid Man can destroy a harvest. He can create his own snow. Jolly Green Giant is toast and his clothes are wilted. That's embarrassing. I think it's Kool-Aid Man for the win.
No, I say Jolly Green Giant.
And
smashing the crystal.
Superhuman speed. All he needs to do is run. And
Kool-Aid Man's going to be like, oh yeah, running straight forward into the Jolly Green Giant and smash himself on Jolly Green Giant's shins.
What's the Jolly Green Giant made of? If the Kool-Aid Man can smash through walls, he can certainly smash through celery.
Yeah.
It's whatever the Hulk's made out of.
No, my gosh.
They're both green.
It's plants.
They're both green.
It's plants.
What do you mean it's plants?
It's plants.
So Kool-Aid Man can smash through
wearing plants.
bricks and wood. Trees or wood, and Jolly Green Giant is not a tree.
Exactly. The Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid Man wins.
Yeah. Why am I so happy about this?
Stupid.
Because it's right.
Stupid.
Feels good.
Oh, yeah.
Now we have Mr. Clean versus the Brawny Man. Cleanup matchup.
Did you know that in other countries, Mr. Clean is known as Don Limpio, Mr. Proper, Maestro Limpo, Mastro Lindo, and Meister Proper?
This is a very even matchup.
It really is.
But
they both clean?
But one kind of has magic on his side, and the other has the power of Christmas.
Because he wears either red or green?
Wait,
No, 'cause
are we
he's
saying
from a Hallmark movie.
Are we saying Mr. Clean is a genie? Because they say that he's not.
They say, they said in
Like
one...
you
that
say
he's a
magic,
genie.
I say he can appear and then he cleans stuff, right? He can use chemicals, and that's not what Brawny Man has.
How does he appear? Magically.
Yeah, but he doesn't do anything like attack with magic. He shows up with magic.
That's all he needs, Ken.
You know what cleans up chemicals? Paper towels. Right? You can
Mr.
spray
Clean
stuff
is not
down.
made of chemicals.
No, but if he uses chemicals at his disposal, because
Right.
he's Mr. Clean,
Right.
he can spray it. Brawny Man can
No.
soak up. He's the best soaker-upper.
So, Mr. Clean appears. Mr.
Quilted quicker picker upper. That's bounty.
Mr. Clean appears. Mr. Brawny takes his axe, which apparently he got back from Lucky the Leprechaun disappearing it.
Yeah.
He swings at Mr. Clean. Mr. Clean disappears. He pops up another place. The Brawny Man swings another axe at him. He disappears from there. Then Mr. Clean appears on Brawny Man's shoulder. Brawny Man, being the large dumb oaf he is, takes a swing at Mr. Clean on his shoulders. Mr. Clean disappears. Brawny Man's own axe goes into his own neck, and he
come on.
dies.
One
Mr.
has
Clean wins.
One has
Wow.
a weapon. One's got muscles.
They both have muscles.
Mr.
Well,
Clean.
yeah. But Brawny Man doesn't need to show us the muscles to show us that he has muscles.
Mr. Clean would clean Brawny Man's
Now,
clock.
there's a weapon, and Brawny Man can destroy all reflective surfaces, like we've talked about, all mirrors.
So he can't see himself?
Also, he can handle the dirt. Mr. Clean goes
What's
crazy
in the woods,
when there's
Kent?
dirt.
Water. You going to get rid of lakes so you can't see yourself? Shiny surface. Boom, Mr. Clean.
Oh, so there's water now. Okay.
a river, a puddle.
Yeah, I'm just saying one's not afraid of dirt. One doesn't go crazy when there's dirt around. Also, if there's a puddle around, Brawny Man, who's also a giant, by the way, can just soak it up with his paper towel.
We've destroyed giants before, Kent.
Yes, we have, but they
Because
were
they're
plant
made
giants.
of plants.
Listen, no one's microwaving Brawny
You
Man
are what
here.
you eat. What do you think Brawny Man eats? Plants.
I just think with the weapon, it's pretty easy. Because there's chemicals. I will say Mr. Clean has a good battle here, but I think with an axe head, he's going right through the earring.
Mr. Clean teleports away, goes on his shoulder, and then Mr. Brawny
He's going to be
Man,
caught at some
Mr.
point.
Brawny Man hits him in the face. Also, Mr. Clean sprays some chemicals in Mr. Brawny's eyes. He freaks out.
Now, easy.
Starts swinging his axe
Paper towel.
around.
Pro at wiping it up.
Yeah.
But it's in his eyes.
Think about the nature
you
of
can't
the use.
paper towel
That's-
your eyes.
that's
Think
his
about
job.
how you use the products. You spray some Mr. Clean. You got to wipe it up with Brawny. Brawny wins.
Oh, boo.
Try Brawny.
Now we have Tony the Tiger versus Bibendum.
I don't even want to argue. You guys, Smokey Bear didn't beat Bibendium. I hate Bibendium.
Oh, Smokey the Bear versus Tony the Tiger would have been a great matchup.
Yeah, actually really sad.
Great
About
matchup.
ahead.
Okay, a really athletic tiger and a past his prime white tiger guy.
Tigers eat dry rotted tires.
Wait, is this real?
Did you say tires or tigers?
Tigers.
Tigers versus tigers?
Tigers versus tires.
Wait, is this real?
What?
Tigers eat tires?
I would imagine they could.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of tires where they live.
Well, they have really sharp jaws, right? And claws.
I'm pulling Kent's argument back here.
Okay.
Kent's argument with the soccer ball. What do you do to it?
Kicked it to the moon and back.
What do you think he's going to do to this bouncy tire guy?
Tony the Tiger wins.
Thank you.
I won it with that little argument.
That was good. I just hate Bavenium so much.
Yeah, that was probably a bad call, but it was funny. All right, Tony the Tiger goes on.
They're great.
Now we have Little Caesar versus...
still?
Yeah. Now we have Little Caesar versus McGruff, the crime dog.
I don't know how Little Caesar's made it this far, guys.
I know. It's weird.
He's got a spear.
Wait, could he go? Okay, but how could he win? Let's first make a case. Before we get rid of him, let's make a case how Little Caesar could win this battle.
No, because you know what?
Did Caesar see battle?
What does Little Caesar have on his feet?
He commanded battles.
What does Little Caesar have on his feet?
Sandals.
Yeah. Sandals. McGruff the Crime Dog is going to pursue him. He's going to slip in his sandals, and McGruff the Crime Dog is going to take a bite.
Also he's not clumsy all of a sudden.
These aren't flip-flops.
Have you run in sandals?
I know,
They're not
but
good for
they're
running.
strapped to his foot.
Arches are going to fall.
He's got to lose for a reason, though, right?
It's just not going to make it. Like, I don't think he's made it this far. Well, I think I may have argued for him to go this far.
He represents a Roman dictator, but he has pizza.
I just have to give it to McGruff the Crime Dog.
Just because we like him more.
Just because I feel like he's more tough than Little Caesar.
He is 6 foot and 155 pounds.
The dog?
The dog, he can run 45
He's a
miles
6
per
foot
hour.
inner city dog?
Yeah.
Okay, McGruff wins.
Yeah, he wins.
Yeah, easy.
And help take a bite out of crime.
Okay, final four. Our last four
Our
in here.
final four.
I will, as always, I will read all of them. We have the Kool-Aid Man, Brawny Man, Tony the Tiger, and McGruff the Crime Dog.
You
I
know,
love the spread.
You know,
How
this
did
is
Kool-Aid Man make it this far? I love it.
It's great.
I tried not to. It could have been the Jolly Green Giant in there.
Nah.
We could have had Jolly Green Giant versus Brawny Man.
No.
Actually, would have been pretty cool.
All right,
All right,
let's do this.
Kool-Aid Man versus Brawny Man.
You guys already know my thoughts on this. Brawny Man's going to smash Kool-Aid Man. I tried with Jolly Green Giant. I'm doing the same argument.
Okay.
Size versus fragility.
The axe cutting into the crystal. That is viable.
It is very viable.
That's extremely.
You don't need an axe. You give a slight bump off the counter, Kool-Aid Man would shatter.
Oh, that thing is strong. You have you ever held crystal? It's quite strong.
I would have held a tire.
I think it's Brawny Man. I think even though the Kool-Aid Man has evolved from a simple juice pitcher with a smiley face and a voice that said almost nothing to a 7 foot tall giant pitcher of whatever he wants it to be, if Brawny Man was as big as he can be, and maybe he's not at all times, right? But he can pick up that pitcher.
But what if Brawny Man stuffed a bunch of paper towels inside the Kool-Aid Man? What would that do to him? What would that do to him?
You know what?
But
Soak it
that's
up.
not his essence.
Do you know what it would do? He'd leave a little bit because he would lick his finger on the top of Kool-Aid
real
Man.
crystal.
But I don't know. The Kool-Aid Man is magic, right? I've been fighting for his magical powers this entire time.
Hold on.
He can't survive in space, even though his juice should disappear.
Probably.
So, how big is Brawny Man?
Based on 2 commercials.
Is he a normal guy?
One, he's a giant walking through the city. One, he's sitting outside a house, and he's huge. But it's been 2 commercials.
Is he quite large?
In his history,
He is.
he's just a handsome guy in the kitchen.
And Kool-Aid Man has a handle. If he's large, picks him up by the handle and smashes him. This is easy.
Okay.
If he's regular
Yeah, I think
size,
so.
it's a little difficult, but
So he's going to manhandle Kool-Aid Man?
I think so.
Kool-Aid manhandle?
Via the handle, yes.
Yeah.
I think Brawny Man picks him up, smashes him.
All right.
Brawny Man wins.
Try Brawny.
Not to show my cards here, but I believe this matchup to be a little stronger than the last. A contender can certainly come out of here with Tony the Tiger and McGruff the Crime Dog.
Now that's a battle I
This
would
is my
watch.
this is
Okay.
my
So I'm
personal
gonna go over,
final here.
I'm going to go over some abilities for both. So Tony the Tiger, he has superhuman strength, speed, claws, charisma, and like an athlete, like I said. He's a great swimmer, right? He can kick a soccer ball really hard. Whereas McGruff the Crime Dog, he can pause time, but only to give commentary about the crimes shown. He can't really interact in the time pausing.
Can't change.
More of a presenter.
Yes.
Okay.
Like
he does
Rod
have
Serling in the Twilight Zone.
Precisely. He does have superhuman perception and police training, and his bite can break bones. He's also a very good hunter. I think the hunting thing, what I just read, maybe does that take Tony the Tiger out? Tigers are hunted, and he is a bloodhound.
He is.
But bloodhounds usually go for smaller animals like foxes or pheasants.
I do feel like, aside from the freezing time thing, that McGruff the Crime Dog is more in a realistic realm, whereas Tony the Tiger exists in more of a cartoon plane, which gives
Does the
him
cartoon give more abilities?
It gives him more abilities, I believe.
But is he playing sports way too much to really focus on, like, is he too lackadaisy to focus on a death match?
No, he can get feisty.
Okay.
He can show him that he's a tiger. He can show him what he can do. And I feel like, McGruff, honestly, I don't think he's as wild as Tony the Tiger because he wears more clothing.
I think this is going more animalistic. I think they're going to go to their carnal animal roots, and it's going to be a bloodhound versus a tiger. They're the same size. They're both 6 feet tall. And I think a tiger's going to be a dog all day long.
Well, and here's the thing. McGruff is tough. He's very tough. But I feel like Tony the Tiger is more spry. I see McGruff the Crown Dog as, pardon the reference, it's old, it's dated, but more of a Columbo type. Mm-hmm. Kind of, wise, strong. You don't want to mess with him.
Yeah.
But Tony the Tiger, he could mess with him. I'm saying Tony the Tiger wins.
Superhuman strength, speed, claws, charisma.
Now,
Baconsale.
McGruff, his bite can break bones, but he doesn't have sharp teeth.
How do they know that, by the way? Like, all these abilities were in commercials. They have a commercial where he bit bones.
Crime is made out of bones. He takes a bite out of it. Sentences.
Crime is made out of bones. The bones are the money. So are the worms. Wow.
All right.
Tony the Tiger wins.
Indeed.
Tony the Tiger wins.
They're great.
All right. And with that, our final matchup, Tony the Tiger versus the Brawny Man.
Wow.
How is this matchup going to go, Kent?
We've used the size of the Brawny Man in most of the arguments, right?
Yes.
So we're saying he could even be huge here.
But giants have been taken out before.
Especially giants that are just men. Right?
Just for men?
Yeah, because he needed,
different mascot.
He's shaved, and so he doesn't need it anymore.
Thank goodness.
But men can get sick, right?
Tigers can't?
Men are weak.
No, tigers are notorious for never getting sick.
They never
I'm
get sick.
pretty sure I saw a documentary with Eddie Murphy where a tiger got real sick.
No, I'm pretty sure that if you go to Lagoon, that tiger is perfectly healthy.
Oh, so sad. Why, Joel?
Because of your argument, tigers don't get sick. Sad tigers, sad.
I'm just crying now. I'd be more afraid if a tiger came up to me. I mean, when that happens.
More than a guy?
Yeah. Hey, TikTok. Brawny Man or Tony the Tiger?
Tigers are guys. I'd go for the bear.
But how is a regular size, a 6-foot tiger going to beat a...
Okay.
Did we decide how tall Brawny Man is?
He's large? Is he? I mean, he's big enough.
He's not as tall as the Jolly Green Giant. He's probably 4 stories high. Maybe that's as tall. I do think, though, guess what? I've had my cat use its claws to climb up my body and attack me. That's the same thing a tiger could do to the Brawny Man.
I'm scared of claws.
And there's lots of the stuff to grab on when you're wearing a plaid shirt. That's a really good grabbing material. You could get right up to those eyes. And yes, it would take some swiping. I don't know. I like both. I think both have a really good chance of winning.
It's not about liking. It's about who's fighting.
I like the underdog argument here. I think Tony the Tiger.
It's not a dog. It's a tiger.
No, he beat the inner city dog in the last round.
I like the
underdog.
I like the under tiger argument.
Okay.
And I think the agile super athlete tiger with claws and teeth can take out the giant man.
How do you feel, Joel?
I mean, even if it's the Achilles tendon. I'll go back to that.
I'm going to go with, this is not a David and Goliath situation here.
Oh, well, it's not Sugar Bear.
Yeah, it's not Sugar Bear. I see the giant Brawny Man with an axe, because the Jolly Green Giant didn't have an axe and he was more pacifist. The Brawny Man, I think he could get in a scuffle. I think he's fought more than his fair share of wild animals in his life. I think he has the abilities to beat Tony the Tiger.
I think even with being a giant, giants are much slower. They can cover more ground, but tigers are so fast.
Tony the Tiger's going to do his super kick on Brawny Man, and it's going to push Brawny Man
to the kneecap,
to the shin, because that's about as high as he can reach, maybe. And it's going to push Tony. It's going to move that leg back, and that's it.
You mean the 201 megatons of force?
Yeah.
Okay. With claws,
it's going to push. It's going to push the Brawny Man back about 10 feet.
Our skin can be easily punctured. A tiger is, even if it's scratched down the leg.
Punctured skin doesn't mean death.
I know, but it's going to be an irritant and distract the Brawny Man.
He's wearing thick jeans.
And he can...
Are you saying that...
he's wearing
Are you saying
flannel.
that even if Tony the Tiger loses the battle, that infection will win the war?
Absolutely. Men can get sick.
But not tigers.
Not tigers. Oh, poor Lagoon.
Oh, listen to the following sentence.
Okay.
We did a death match mascot bracket, and the Brawny Man won.
Okay. Oh, so that's not it.
We did a death match bracket, and Tony the Tiger won.
That feels so
Come
right.
on, that
feels so right. Joel.
My argument's still with Brawny Man.
Okay, well, I think the audience has decided.
The question is, how large is the Brawny Man every time?
If he's the giant in the 1976 commercial, I'm imagining in my head, he's giant.
I think a tiger can take a giant. I think Tony the Tiger wins.
Woo! Don't you applaud?
I'm so proud of him.
How?
He's just a friend to everyone. He wants you to be good at soccer.
Deathmatch friends don't matter.
One time when I was in elementary school, I saw a huge hot air balloon. It was Tony the Tiger, and it changed my life. I love Tony the Tiger.
All Tony Tiger is just a bunch of hot air.
I hate...
And your guys' argument's a bunch of hot air, too.
I hate...
It's a logical conclusion.
I hate his cereal. I really do hate Frosted
How do you
Flakes.
hate Frosted Flakes?
It's pretty
But
good.
I ate it all the time because I loved him so much. A big Tony the Tiger guy. Been hiding that the whole time. I'm so happy here.
Goodness.
Tony, you got it. I got you,
All
buddy.
right, that's
He's
the
earned his stripes.
bracket. Did you say it already officially?
Tony the Tiger wins. Yes.
They're great.
So there you go. There is our brand mascot battle where you can get our bracket at baconsale.com, play yourself, and maybe make better decisions than we did.
And if you get mad at this, what's wrong with you? Why do you care this much? It's just capitalism, man.
But we want to see your filled out brackets and see who you would have taken to the finals. We want to see that on Facebook. We want to see that on Twitter. We want to see that on Instagram, if possible, because sometimes posting pictures on Instagram is stupid and you can't really do it. But let us know, because we want to hear from you on social media. It's our love language, listener. Commenting on our posts is our love language here at Baconsale.
That is a sentence that has been said before.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
But before we go, we want to thank the patrons. So from the I Am the Listener category, we have Taylor Sanderson, some guy, Sir and Madam Hicks. Scott, just because Charmin won't say Dingleberry doesn't mean you can't sprig. Ryan and Marley, Lady Terry A. Finley, Juice, the Cooler King Swallow, Jennifer Kilkowski, Casey Cummings, Angelo Plotz, and Adam and Rachel Crump. And from the Bacon Council, we have the other Brit, Johnny English, the one, the only, Chris Anderson, Steven, everyone's favorite Ross, Star Wars expert Kyler, our favorite couple, the Madsons, Nicole Deakhale, Her Royal Highness Jessica Terry, Glow Clan Daniel, Debbie Foster, and Beaker.
Thank you, patrons. You are the Biben to our dumb.
Just like our argument.
Yes.
But if you want to find me, you can find me at Sammy6Joel on Twitter. You can find me performing with Quickwits, who perform at the Midvale Performing Arts Center and the studio at the Parker Theater. For more details, go to qwcomedy.com or go to the Quickwits Facebook page.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kenny3DD. You can read my movie reviews at ShowtimeShowdown.com.
If you'd like to connect with me, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Tumbling Mustard. But more importantly, make sure you're following Bacon Sale. Please like that Facebook page and then go to at Bacon Sale on Twitter and Instagram. After you've done that, go to tpublic.com/baconsale and get yourself some merch. And then if you like what's going on here and you want to support us further, go to patreon.com/baconsale. Support starts at just $3 a month, and you can hear very relatable stories on our bacon beds.
Very relatable.
Yes.
Involving Mustangs and eggs.
Patreon.com/baconsale.
So until next time, when Sugar Bear's in Mascot Land, let my people go. Who's more likable between the Pillsbury Doughboy and the Snuggle Bear?
That is a sentence that's never been said before. Can you smelt the Kool-Aid man?
I smelt him the other day.
Not strong with those abs. Come on.
Oh, the new Twilight? Count Chocula and the Old Spice guy?
I would fall in love with the Old Spice guy. I'm a blueberry boy.
Don't fat shame Sugar Bear.
I'm not. You're skinny shaming Sugar Bear. Kevin is with Sugar Bear. Clowns are animals too, Kent.
I think Sugar Bear is impervious to alcoholism.
Testament works against McDonald's, apparently.
Toucan San
What is this show?
One mention of McDonald's in the Old Testament. Just one.
Move on. I didn't mean to.
This is a jock tiger versus like a rabbit that probably has a podcast.
The music is not on the radio, Kent. The music is in his heart.
He's a dog from inner city Chicago. He wins.
He fought villains known as Thirsties. And what are women for Old Spice guy?
He's a biblical bear.
Magic erasers with grease? Wendy's. Magic erasers with cream filling? Twinkies. People in the woods are quite superstitious.
If he's living among the trees, he fears the tree people.
Lucky gets his nutrients from children.
Ronnie.
I love him. Always have. Always will.
Who has a more killer instinct?
Smokey Bear. He's a bear.
Or
A bear?
French tire?
I just got guilted by Smokey Bear.
Who can?
The Kool-Aid man can. His clothes are wilted. That's embarrassing.
The joke was great, Ken.
No, but then
and now we can't have it because you forgot.
Oh, no.
He represents a Roman dictator, but he has pizza. He's a
miles per
6-foot
hour.
inner city dog?
Crime is made out of bones.
I'm pretty sure that if you go to Lagoon, that tiger is perfectly healthy. Oh. What's on your fingies after, Kent? Oh, God.
Hold
I
on.
said fingies.
A pretty good file, too. What?
That's a pretty good file.